Hey folks, this is Susie Meadows. How you doing? This is Monday, July 5th. As you hop on, let me know you're joining me. I'd love to know that you're hopping on with me. We're going to move the camera just a smidgen here. So, I don't know about you guys, but it's hot here. Actually, though, we had a really nice weekend. It was nice and cool, and then yesterday it started heating up. And it's going to be 90 in the next few days. I'm here in central Indiana, and so, you know, the Midwest, it can get warm. Hey, Vicki. Good to see you, kiddo. Gang, I'm going to do things a little different than what I normally do. So I'm going to go ahead and get going, and I'm going to have announcements at the end instead of in the beginning. So I'm Susie Meadows, and this is Monday, July 5th. You will know you're live with me if you, up in the upper corner there, you see a box that says live. Otherwise, you're watching the replay, or potentially you're watching on YouTube where I've saved it. So, and if you like this, let me know. Hit like, and on YouTube, hit like and subscribe so you'll be notified when I add new videos. Well, as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, the team I'm on, Brandy gives us color challenges, and it is an opportunity for us to broaden our horizons. Many times in the color challenges, it's colors that I might not put together. And this particular color challenge is with Poppy Parade, Pacific Point, and So Saffron. And we can also use Memento black ink, and we can use it on with white or very vanilla cardstock. Well, I just thought I'd talk about how I get started. First thing I do is I pull the colors out, and I pull out all the goodies, the supplies that I have. So I pull out the inks if I have the alcohol blends. I pull them out. Otherwise, maybe the Stampin' Right markers. And then I also pull out my scrap paper. And then from that, so I've got everything laid out. And then looking at the colors, it's like, what stamp set will I use? Well, this time, many times I choose a stamp set that maybe I have not played with yet. And Measure of Love is one that I had not played with. To me, it's sort of, I don't know, it gives me a retro feel just a little bit with the scales and with this bowl. But maybe not. But anyway, I really like this. So this is one that I chose to go with. So when I look at this, I look at what shapes, squares, if there's circles, just sort of what vibe I'm getting. And I also look at, are there textures? When I look at this, does it make me think of a texture? And so once I have all those things together, then I'm ready to start creating. Now, not only do I look at the colors, but I also look at my scraps. And I'm a little frugal with my paper. And so as I looked at my scraps, this is the card that came together first. Because I had a scrap of Poppy, a scrap of So Saffron, and then the Pacific Point, I thought, And so I colored my cupcakes to coordinate with those colors. And I thought, it needs a little bit of texture with those sprinkles. So that's why I use this embossing folder. And this is actually let me see, which one is it? It's the textured textile. So that's where I started. So next, let me move some of these things out of the way so you can see a little better. I don't know, we'll put things over here. We'll get the inks over here. And so next, I thought, I want to use some more goodies that I have not used a lot of. And what came to mind was this embossing folder, the checks and dots. And I actually wanted to use the checks, not the dots, but the checks. And so with that, I thought, well, this is my next card I came up with. And I used the dots up here I used the checks, and I used several of the stamps. So here's some different stamps that I hadn't used. Here, scale and cupcakes. But here, I started playing with the bowl and apples or cherries, whichever way you think it is. And, oh, and then this pretty, where did it go? Right here. Just this little flower. So then I thought, well, let's play some more. And so this is the next one I played with. I added a die level and I added a shelf. And then once again, I don't know if you can see, but these are the checks, and you see how it's different? These is on this, I used Pacific Blue, whereas here I actually used ink. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to compare, I wanted to make this card with this type of texture. So that's what we're going to do. So let me get some things out of the way here. And this is where I'm going to get a little inky. So what I'm going to start with is, you know, first I need to get, okay, this is the one we're shooting for. So we're going to, that shelf is actually welcoming window. It's the dies that coordinate with this. So here's my shelf. It's called, which is it? Window Flower Dies. So I'm going to get, let me see, we're just going to put this up here in the corner and get this here. Okay, my little cut and emboss machine. I like my little mini. And we are just going to put that right there. Okay. Oh, I see what I have wrong. See, I have two folders. I have the embossing folder. We're not ready for that. So we're going to use 1 and 2 cutting plates. So there's my 1. Let's get this back in place. Here's my 2. There we go. And a little bit of pressure here. And then I'm going to shake the table a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we have our shelf right here. Okay, I don't want to lose that. But now we're getting preparations. So next, we're going to use this embossing folder. But we're going to use the ink on it. So to do an embossing folder, we use 1 and 3. So we'll have that ready, but I'll come back because this is where I'm going to get inky. We need some scrap paper. We need the embossing folder. And I'm going to do it on the Stampin' Up side. I'm going to open up my ink pad. And what I do is I just put my folder right down like that. And I just run it right across. So close this up. So maybe I won't get ink all over me. I'm going to need my inks again. And now I've got the papers we're going to use. And I'll come back and show that here in just a minute. So I'm going to just lay that down. And now we're going to bring this over. Hinge first. Keep pressure on there so my paper doesn't move within. There we go. I'm going to run this through. Okay, get this out of the way. Get my folders out of the way. And there's my paper. Okay, now, I normally just take this to the sink and wash it, but with my remodel, I don't have a sink downstairs. So I am just gonna, I've got some wet things here, and I'm just going to put that on there. So there we go. Okay, make sure I've got the ink off my fingers. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. Now, what we're going to do is, these are my pieces and parts. So I've got Saffron, that is 2.5 by 5, and I've got just a scrap of poppy. And then this is actually 4 by 5.25. And this blue one that we worked on here was 1.5 by 5. Okay, so now we can just start. I want to let that dry, but I'm going to go ahead and use my Saffron. I'm going to get some of my multi-purpose liquid glue. Just put a little bit on here. And put this right here in the middle. There we go. Now let's see how that's doing. Yep, it's looking good. So, there we go. And we're just going to put that on. I don't know if it's still wet or not, so I'll tell you what. There we go. And if it is, I'm pulling some of that ink off. Let's see, was it? No, it wasn't. So this is just ink I have left over. And we're going to put that right here, right in the middle for a nice transition. This little bit of poppy. And like I said, these are just scraps. These, especially this poppy, this was just a scrap. So sometimes it's a little wider than others. But, okay, now, for the label, I am going to use the Tasteful label dies. I like this big one here. So we're going to use this one. Get that out of the way. I've got an extra just in case I goof. Okay. Now, for stamping, I need to sit down. Okay. So we're going to, where's the inks? We're going to start, first we're going to start with my shelf. Now see, this is a very yellow Saffron shelf. I could leave it like that, but I wanted to give it some, let the texture show. And so what I actually used was my Memento. I was in a hurry, so I didn't get a sponge out. I didn't get my blending brushes. I instead, get a scrap piece of paper here. I just put this over here. Piece of paper, just a scrap piece of paper. Got a little bit of ink on there and just rubbed it. And I just rubbed it. Get a little more ink and turn it around because I don't really want it black, but I do want to show that texture. And with a color challenge, you know, we're limited to the colors we use, and black Memento ink is one color we can use. So there, I have a shelf that you can definitely see the wood grain. Okay, get that out of the way. Okay, I need to make sure I clean my fingers. And if nothing else, I've got my chamois. Yeah, I know it looks dirty, but get some of this ink off my fingers because I see Pacific Blue ink right there. Like I said, I'm going to get messy, and I am. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so now we are ready to stamp our bowl. So I need my bowl, and it's going to be in, see here, I almost got too high, so that tells me I need to lower it just a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm not seeing comments, so don't be disturbed if I'm not replying to you. I'm focusing right now, and so that means it's a little hard to see. So I'm going to come here and then just move that. Press that down. There we go. Close my ink up. There we go. Get that out of the way. Now I'm going to do with my poppy, apples or cherries, I'm not sure. So it is what it is. They're red things, apples, cherries, I'm not sure, but yeah. And this is called the nice thing about the photopolymer is I can look through and get lined up. And there you go. Okay, get that out of the way. And now for the leaves. Now see, I would normally use a green, but with the color challenge, I'm not going to, nope. I don't need the yellow. I don't know why I do that. I need the Memento. And I don't want black leaves, but I do want some texture. So let's make sure we're here. So I'm just gonna stamp off, and then to the best of my ability. So I did second generation. There we go, not bad. Okay, and see, this is gonna go right here. And so now I want my sentiment. I'm gonna use Sweet Friend. I thought that was really cute. Oh, make sure it's inked well. Yep. And it's just gonna go right here. There we go. Okay, close up the ink. Dangerous having ink open. Okay, get that out of the way. Now, let's put this down. Now, I could pop it up, but I didn't on the other one, so I'm not going to use dimensionals on my shelf. It's just going to use a little bit of multi-purpose. And I'm going to bring it up so I can look at it just a little better. And, okay, there we go. Okay, now I am going to bump this up, though. So with that, I need my dimensionals. And let me see, we're going to be putting that right there. So I'm going to put one at the bottom and up here. There we go. I think that should be plenty. Well, I'm just taking the release off here. Okay, get that out of the way. Now I've got a few other cards to show you when we are done here. So I think I could put I think I want it right there. Okay, so there we go. Here is the difference between these two. And I'm going to put them both on Saffron card bases. But I wanted you to see the difference and see if there's one you like better than the other. Whether you like the, hey Susan, glad you're joining us. Whether you like the Pacific Point embossed or the white embossed with Pacific Point ink. I like them both, but you know, this to me is bolder, but I do like that one. So what do you guys think? Which do you like better? So we're actually going to be doing it. I don't have another card base cut, or do I? Oh, I might. I do. So we can really compare now. So we've got this one, or we've got this one. I like them both, but I think I sort of like this one. But I like that for the interest. So, oh, but no, wait a minute. We need to put some opals down because these are the Opal Rounds. So I want to put some on. I think I want some smaller ones. And I'll put them where the others are so we can truly compare. Put one there. Put another little one right there, and we'll use a big guy. See, he should go here, but I'll put him right there. There we go. Okay, so there we go. How's that? Okay, so that was what I wanted to show, the comparison. But let me show you some other, just one other card I wanted to show you. And this is using the same stamp set, but it's using this image right here. And, oops, let me make sure I'm in the camera. So what I did, I stamped this. And this, I wanted to show you, we'll scoot these over here. I wanted to show you a little hint about how to do those. Do you see this? We'll peel this back. You see that little tiny arrow there? That is a hint of how you can line things up on two stamp. And so what I did, I remembered where this one, which was that heart-shaped flower, versus the void here, and having these two leaves sticking up. And so that is how I could line these up. Now these I used, once again, I really like these Tasteful labels because I use this one right here for that. And this, Sweet Friend, I use this one right here. So there we go, gang. So that's what I wanted to show you. I really liked using this Measure of Love stamp set. If you do not have a demonstrator, this is how you can get a hold of me, and this is my host code for the month. But I also wanted to show you, oh, I had some announcements also. Remember, if you like the video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. So we will get these, we'll just leave these things here. And just a few announcements. Locally, gang, there is the Sweet Strawberry class is getting ready. I'm taking, reservations are open, and it is locally, Lebanon Library, on the 22nd, which is a Thursday at 5:30. And I wanted to show you some of the things. I think I've showed you some of these. I'm not going to take them out of the cellophane, but here you can make an eggplant, or you can make a pear, or then of course I did some strawberries and another strawberry with paper lattice, but I colored that. And oh, this is just some of the 3D things we might make. Laffy Taffy. And here's some chocolates that you can make into strawberries. So, gang, I'm taking, the reservations are open on this, registration rather. Find it under the Facebook events. Friday is when I need to make sure I order these things for you. It's $40. So, okay, and also Thursday, which is the 8th, we're going to do just a BYOC, bring your own craft, to the Lebanon Library. So if you're local, just come on over. There's no cost, there's no agenda. We're truly just going to have a chance to craft. Maybe your craft is knitting, maybe it's paper crafting. I will be working on some vendor projects because the 10th and the 11th is Christmas in July at Dole's Christmas Tree Farm. So, and I have a booth there, so I'll be doing that. And the last thing I wanted to show you is, look what I got. This is a sneak peek, gang. I can't open it up. I got the new catalog, the holiday July through the December catalog, and there's a celebration. So in August, for August and September, these are the goodies that you can earn if you spend $50 with me. So, and as you guys know, as those of you that have purchased from me for the last year, I have sent these to you. You will be getting them probably the end of July, hopefully the mid-July, because they would have shipped them out the end of June. So, but like I said, if you've a customer and you've been attending my classes, purchasing from me, you will be getting these in the mail. They do come bulk mail, so, you know, so that may take a little bit longer to get there. So, that's pretty much it, gang. I will be here next Monday, which is the 12th at 5 p.m. Hope to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.